When you talk about AI, it's a global phenomenon. How do you go about like sort of setting a global definition for something like, like responsible AI or even like regulating AI? You can't possibly have a global definition, or can you? What do you think about this?
It's easier to think through with analogies, right? When the concept of giving away something for free did not exist, we went from, you have copyright to protect my intellectual property. But if I want to give away my intellectual property, what happened? We came up with some idea called copy left, right? And even the name was to say opposite of this. And then we started having, GPL, the GNU public license and other size, and whole open source movement that powers so much of our software, of the things that you're building. Your servers are Linux, right? Each one of our phones, Android, mostly Linux or Unix. And the idea is that open source runs the world today, and the conceptual framework around the intellectual property, the contract, the responsibility of open source software did not exist. We created it. I think there is a similar moment now. Self-regulation, right? Which means before the government figures out what can be done, what should be done. And I like to give this example. Internet in India came in 97, BSNL, those of you who had it, the first dial-up, beep, boop, 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 boop. And then India started using a lot of digital everywhere. 2009, first digital identity issued in India type of thing. By 2016, we had a Digital India program where the government is pushing digital. When did we get the data protection bill? And when has the data protection bill been authorized? 2024 we got the bill, still not operationalized fully. So it takes time to regulate. But we as a society shouldn't have to wait for that to get safe AI, to get AI that we interact with nicely. So similar to that open source copyleft example, I think that one way to get to a global definition is that if we companies, builders, etc., just come up together with our own license, our own promise. In fact, at People Plus AI, the not-for-profit where I work, we call it the AI promise. A is in brackets, which means I promise. As a builder, what promises about responsibility and safety are you making to your users? Are you willing to put that in public like the open source licenses in public to every code base, right? And let's put it on GitHub. And let's say, you put out a promise and I think, I like this, but one clause I want to change. So I fork that and now that's my AI promise. And I submit it back in the open source. And that way, by seeing what people are adopting, we can come to a set of like self-regulations in the open that we've come up with, which then it's easier for government to adopt, right? And make that the official regulations. So I think we have to understand that timelines for government regulation is slow, but once they come in with force, it's final. We can innovate fast on what responsible AI for the world means, and we should.